What is up, guys? Free01 here, and welcome to my review for The Promised Neverland episode 12. So, to answer the first question, if you have volume 5, chapter 37, Escape, that scene where it gets confirmed that Ray is Isabella's actual son, it's in there. I went back and I reread this volume, and luckily it was only a couple of chapters, only maybe 2 chapters in. So yeah, that was something I don't remember. I honestly did not remember that. So when I saw that in the live reaction, it blew my fucking mind. Alright, so what went down in this week's episode? So I believe this is the season finale. I don't believe we're going to get an episode tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. I believe that's the end of season 1. We're going to have to wait till they see if there's going to be a season 2. So this is not only just an episode 12 review, but also a series review as well. In this week's episode, guys, we continue the escape. Alright, we find out that everyone that is 4 and younger has been left at the farm for a particular reason. We know, we got confirmation that no one gets shipped out or harvested or anything until they are at least 6 years old. And going with the oldest, that is about 1.5 years to 2 years of time before they can ship anyone else out. So, what ends up happening, they can't decide what to do. It's Emma, Don, and Gilda. They are talking and they're discussing this, what should we do, and they can't make a final decision. Eventually, they get Phil, young Phil, and he gets Phil in, and this is where everything, like all the little nuances, all the little things where Phil just appears and random periods in the time. This is what it all leads up to. The fact that Phil knows what's going on in regards to the house, Mum, Isabella, everything. He's figured it out. Okay? So Emma basically explains, he goes, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I thought so. Which catches Emma, Don, and Gilda by surprise. And then he goes, no, don't worry. Leave us. Go. So long as you come back. Right? So he goes, he makes the final decision. Which is crazy. Like I said, which is freaking crazy. Phil, a 4-year-old, makes the decision, say, no, leave us here, you go, it's going to be easier that way. Right? I know what's going on, I can set things up and play along. Right? I can keep it distracted, he can do all that kind of stuff. He doesn't say it, but that's pretty much what he's saying. We end up moving on, we're going back to the escape, they're on the wall, we find out about all the training that they did. Don learning to basically sling the rope and wanted to get it tied on the tree to create one, to the younger boys creating bottle rockets and shooting out to create 3 lines going down. In the meantime, Isabella has reported saying, look, 15 children have escaped, sound the alarm goes off. We then see Phil. She goes, where are all the other kids? Phil takes her to where all the kids are. She goes, alright. Everyone's like, oh, where's Emma? You know, doing what little kids do. You know, whinging. He's like, oh, where's the older kids? You know, because they're quite attached to the older kids. She goes, no worries, I'm going to go get them now. Leaves them in a very safe spot and goes. And then we start seeing little nuances here. We start seeing little flashbacks of how Isabella managed to get up on the wall. She would run, and swing up, bang, onto the wall. We see her then up on the wall and gunning it until she gets to the point where she's standing there eye to eye with Emma. Everybody else has basically zip lined across the wall, across the cliff, onto the other side to safety, except for Emma. And Emma said, last words to Isabella is, goodbye house, goodbye. It's like goodbye house, goodbye home, goodbye, Mum. And then she goes off. We then go into a flashback where we see a young Isabella, which basically confirms that yes, Isabella was a cattle child herself. And we see her talking to one of her friends, I believe it's like Lucky or something, Lacey. And Lacey is playing a song, right? He's playing this song. She ends up scaring the crap out of it and getting him to play it for her. They listen. Then we follow her journey through cattle and how she came to be a mother. And we learned that basically what happened is Lacey got shipped out. He got harvested. Nothing unusual there. Then Isabella's turn came, and then we see the demon, and we see Grandma. Grandma basically must have, look, you can either do this or you're dead. So Isabella goes, alright, takes the offer and starts her training to become a sister and then a mum. We then see her pregnant, right? She's all pregnant, The next thing you know, we see Grandma saying, alright, I'm going to be putting you in charge of Plantation 3 starting next year. Then we see Isabella going in and all her little things that over time that we see, and then she hears that song again, right? This is the part where I lost my mind because I didn't remember this. She finds it and we see it's a young Ray. And she's like, how do you know that song? He goes, why did you give birth to me? And then he goes, Mum, why did you give birth to me? Right? So that basically confirms that Ray is Isabella's child. Okay? That is crazy. That blew my mind. I had to go back to volume 5 to reread it to see if that actually happened. And yes, it does actually happen. We then go back to present day. We see Isabella standing on the wall. She lets her hair out as we see the zip lines go loose. She watches as the kids take off into the forest, into the night, and basically says, take care, I've lost, there's nothing she can do. Okay, she ends up then going back to the younger kids, which is a smart move, and then she gets blankets, does all that kind of stuff, and then they all fall asleep underneath the tree. We then end the episode with Emma, Ray, and everybody seeing their first morning as free children. That's where our episode ends. Overall, for this episode, brilliant episode. The music was on point. The voice acting, on point. The animation, the art, gorgeous. Everything about this episode was amazing. It gave me chills in some spots. It caught me off guard because I thought I knew this series really well, but it did catch me off guard with the whole Ray Isabella connection, right? That caught me off guard. The little moments with Norman and Ray, they were awesome. Like, just everything in this episode led up to that escape was done extremely well. The series in general was done incredibly well. Some of the camera angles, the music, the voice acting, the art, the animation, everything was on point for all 12 episodes. There was maybe a scene here or there that was a little bit iffy, but majority of the time, it was very, very solid. And as someone who's a massive fan of this series, I thoroughly enjoyed watching all these 12 episodes and reviewing all 12. I think I've reviewed all 12. I might have missed a couple. But, yeah. So, overall, guys, for this episode, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5. Brilliant episode. The music, the art, the animation, the voice acting, everything was on point. The explanations, everything, the answers that we got, everything was just brilliant, was phenomenal. I loved it. The series overall, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Absolute brilliant first season. And if this is the first thing you've ever seen of it, go back, watch it. You need to watch it and then go and read it. Start from about chapter 37. That's where you're going to pick up, and that's where pretty much this ends. So the end of this episode is chapter 37, and then continue reading from there. If you want to get into this, like, obviously, if you've watched all these episodes, start from chapter 37. That's pretty much, like I said, the end of this episode, and then just continue reading through. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee that, guys. But anyway, guys, that is all for me. Let me know in that comments below, what did you guys think? Did you like it? Didn't like it? All that kind of jazz. And as always, guys, I'm Frino1. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys with my next review. Peace.